Story time, so make sure you sit back, relax, and let's get on with the chisme. So when I was in first grade, I was grabbed in a very weird way. Every day I kept telling the boy, like, please stop, I don't want you to grab me that way. And his response would always be, I know you like it. And of course I would always respond and say, no, I don't. Then eventually I ended up telling my teacher, but she didn't believe me. And after I told her, of course, I ended up going home crying that day, and I ended up confessing to my mom and told her everything that has been happening at school. Obviously, my mom wasn't mad at me because I was about 6 years old when this happened. But my mom told me that she would go talk to the principal about it, and that's exactly what she did. The next day, she went and she talked to the principal, and the principal ended up calling my teacher down, and he was like, hey, like, has this student talked to you about any of this? Have you witnessed it? Has she tried to confide in you? Mind you, the principal was questioning my teacher in front of me and my mom. So then my teacher goes, no, she didn't tell me anything at all. I don't know anything about it. I just remember looking at my teacher like, really, pendeja? Like, I know I told you. Then that's when the principal looked at me and my mom, and he was like, well, my staff didn't say anything. Your daughter didn't say anything, so we can't do anything for you. So the principal looked at my mom and he was like, well, I can't do anything about it, and the teacher didn't hear anything, so. And of course, as any other parent would, my mom got mad and we stormed out of the school. So then the next day I'm in class and the same boy says to me, your plan didn't work. And then he hit me and he was like, if you don't stop telling people what I do, I'm really gonna f you up. This is a little kid. So of course I go home, I tell my mom what happened again. And my mom was so pissed that she ended up going to the school again and she told them what happened, but the principal was denying everything. So my mom was like, okay, bet. And she ended up calling the police. The cops get there and she tells them everything, and that's when the principal admitted to everything. So they knew what was happening to me, they just didn't care. Unfortunately, my teacher didn't get arrested, which I kind of wish she did, and my mom ended up transferring me to a different school. Fast forward a few years later, he ended up going to the same school, and I was scared thinking he was going to do it all over again, but he didn't. He actually apologized. But I didn't forgive him, and I just want to know if you guys think that I was wrong for that.
Get ready with me while I tell the story about how my high school bully watched me get into a car accident, which led to us getting married. So for a little background, me and my husband met when I was 14 and he was 15. Basically, we started talking after we met, and we had like a little situationship. However, I told him I did not want a boyfriend because I was so young, but he was like ready to be in a relationship. So I essentially rejected him, which I think really hurt his feelings, but it was fine. We ended up like on and off talking for a year. So we had a little bit of a summer fling that ended right before we started going to school together for the very first time. So this is where the bullying began, and basically him and his friends would kind of gang up on me. They would call me names and they compared me to, in my opinion, what is a very ugly cartoon character, and they only referred to me as the name of that cartoon character. My husband would also film me in the hallways, and he would tease me. He would make fun of me all the time. So that behavior went on for months, and I had a breaking point and I was over it. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be friends with him anymore because we had a lot of mutual friends. I was like, I'm just gonna ignore him. I blocked him on Instagram, which was like a huge deal for me because I still had like a little bit of a crush on him, but he just past the point of no return in my books. So fast forward to the day of the accident, me, my mom, and my sister were about 20 minutes away from where I lived to go pick up some food from a restaurant. I actually was ranting to my mom and my sister about how this kid was bullying me and how he was calling me names and how I just couldn't stand him anymore and that I had blocked him. So as I'm telling them about this, we are pulling out of the restaurant and we round the corner, and who do we see when we turn the corner? My bully, aka Lucas. So I point him out to my mom and my sister because I'm like, oh my gosh, he's literally right there. Like, what are the odds of this? So my sister thinks it would be funny to roll her window down and yell his name and get his attention. My mom and my sister are looking over at Lucas, and I duck down because I was humiliated. Well, as we're all looking away, this car comes speeding through these parking stalls in the parking lot, and we T-bone them, like really bad. This was my car's aftermath of the accident, and the other car was so much worse. And because my sister had just yelled Lucas's name, he watched the entire thing happen. This is where I feel like some people might be a little bit disappointed by the story, but he actually did not come up to me after the car accident because he didn't know it was me. Instead, I posted about it on my Snapchat story. Once he found out it was me, he slid up on my story to ask if I was okay, which led to us talking again. After this, he started being really nice to me again. A few months later, we started dating, and now we're married.
Hey guys, I'm gonna do a get ready with me and a story time about this mean girl that I met on the first day of school. So this girl, she was talking bad about me literally on the first day of school, and she gave me nasty looks, and I was like, why are you giving me nasty look? What did I do? And then she's like, you look like a pick-me preppy girl. And then like I remember we had classes together, and I'm about to say what she did. So anyways, I was talking to my other friend. Me and her aren't friends anymore. We just kind of stopped talking. I don't know why. And she told me that the girl, like, we were literally in class together, and she was with this other girl. I'm gonna call the mean girl, what should I call her? Chloe, and I'm gonna call the other girl, Riley. So Riley and Chloe were talking really bad about me for literally no reason. And I said hi to Riley, and she was like, hi. And on the first day of school, she was wearing this ugly tie-dye pants and a hoodie. I'm like, girl. So they were talking bad about me. My other friend overheard them talking bad about me, calling me a little pick-me preppy girl because I wore pink. And I was like wearing this whole pink outfit. I literally looked like Barbie. And then this one boy, like her boyfriend made it up and then started calling me Barbie, and then all the other boys started calling me Barbie. And I'm like, can you just shut up already? So she was the pick-me. She looked like this ugly little slob, and she was wearing this little ugly, these tight jeans with this ugly t-shirt. She looked so ghetto, and she had like Takis in her hand with a messy bun. Like, I hate those type of girls. Okay, so one of my family members passed away like 3 months before that day, and okay, so I saw someone that looked like my family member that passed away, and I started crying because I thought it was them, because they looked exactly like them. And then Riley was like, why are you crying? I'm so sorry. And I told her why I was crying. The next day, she goes to Chloe and says, oh yeah, she was crying yesterday. And I literally told her why she was crying, and then I confronted her. And then she was like, oh my god, I didn't know you were crying about that. And I'm like, what? Like, be for real. Okay, so when I heard them talking bad about me when I was crying about my family member that passed away 3 months ago before, I started crying, and then I ran to the bathroom because the teacher wouldn't let me go to the bathroom, so I just ran out of there. And then she saw me crying, and then they start, like, that was a really hard subject to talk about. And, like, they were so rude about it, I just cried again. I don't know why. I should have beat them up. So I remember one time I complimented her jeans, Chloe's jeans, and she was like, okay, so like she walked past. I complimented her jeans because I want to be nice, and like, I don't know why. Why did I compliment her jeans? No other girls in the classroom liked her because she's a pick-me and she's rude to like everyone. Like, she didn't even know me. And then she was like, thanks, like in an attitude way, and then gave me a nasty look after. Like, I should never complimented her. I should have like confronted her about like being rude to me, like when she doesn't even know me. Okay, so I remember we were in the bathroom together, and then she gave me a nasty look. Okay, but the next day she was with her friend that was kind of friends with me, and then she like smiled at me. And I gave her a nasty look, and she says, why are you looking at me like that? And I said, because you always give me a nasty look. So I finally started being like, girl, don't be fake in front of your other little friends. I really don't care. Like, be for real. And this was this year. That's why I'm homeschooled. So, yeah.